Hello, YouTubers. This is going to be a video about the current situation with RC and COVID. COVID has really brought a lot of people into the hobby. Um, there's a lot of used stuff, and it's kind of drove the prices up. But if you're new to the hobby and you're thinking about buying a hobby grade RC, you really need to be careful buying used, because right now it's obviously a seller's market, but I see there's a lot of people being taken advantage of. And I just kind of got an example here. Um, this is on a local uh, buy and sell, and as you can see by the ad, it's a Red Cat Gen 8 for $600. Now, the ad, I'm not gonna show who's posting this or anything, but the ad says it has upgrades, but it doesn't come with electronics or ESC or anything. So if you scroll through the pictures, it looks stock. I don't see any upgrades other than a LED light bar on the roof. And then he's got here a picture of the portal axle upgrade kit for a Gen 7. This ad's been up for quite a while because maybe people have actually done their research, and they know that you can buy one of these brand new in this area for like $400 to $432 plus taxes, brand new, ready to run. And I don't know if the seller thought these were upgrade axles for the Gen 8, because these are just Gen 8 axles. This is the upgrade kit for the Gen 7. I don't know if it actually says that on here. It's yeah, it's really gonna be hard to read focusing in, but yeah, it's the portal upgrade kit for your Gen 7. Comes with the shock mounts. It comes with a slipper clutch. Um, but if you were new to the hobby and you didn't do any research, and you think, oh, okay, well, I'll buy this for, even if you got a deal on it for like $500, thinking, oh, I got $100 off. I mean, you could have bought a brand new, ready to run for that. And like I said, this one here, it's got a light bar added to it. It's got some goofy, actually looks like an automotive 12-volt light on the back there, and just some stickers on it. Claims there's upgrades, and like I said, this picture here, that's the upgrade kit to upgrade a Gen 7 to the Gen 8 portals. It's the exact same axles that come on the Gen 8. It's just it's kind of a buyer beware. If you're gonna get into this hobby, you really need to do your research. You need to go on YouTube and check out videos. If you're thinking of purchasing one new like this here, all you got to do is just search it on YouTube and see exactly what they come with stock and value. Actually, I can show you. I just got to find the web page. This is a Red Cat Canada web page here, and it's in the same province. So here's your Gen 8 blue, brand new, at $432.99 plus tax and free shipping in Canada on all vehicles. So why would you pay $600 for a used one with no electronics that claims to have upgrades? It's one of those things, really, buyer beware. I think they have the actual upgrade kit on here. Let's see if it's under the Gen 7. Yeah, I'd probably have to scroll for a while, but just a prime example. Right now, you really need to be careful when you're buying new, because there's right now a lot of sellers that are taking advantage of newbies coming into the hobby who see these used ones, and you know, they make them sound good, and they make you think you're getting a deal, and you're really not. So I wanted to post a little video and just kind of I'm part of a lot of RC groups, and I see where a lot of guys are getting ripped off, and they're kind of venting online about it. My motto is, if you're selling something or buying something, go local, meet in person, so you can actually see what you're buying. And I've always sold local. That way, anybody who buys anything off of me, they're meeting me, they're seeing the rig, they know exactly what they're getting. So there's no hard feelings in the end or anything like that. I wouldn't recommend getting anything used shipped, because if it arrives to your destination and it's not what you thought it was, or there was some miscommunication, or there's a lot of stuff broken, then you're kind of at the mercy of the seller to make it right. In a lot of cases, it's probably not made right. It's, you know, and it puts a bad taste in the mouth of anybody new to the hobby. I recently sold my Gen 7 to fund the electronics in my SCX 10.3, and I sold it local. I had it on some of the buy sell groups, and I had somebody message me, and there's a lot of buyers out there that are kind of pushy on things too. Cause I had one gentleman message me about it, and he was like a 3-hour drive away from me, and you know, he's like, "Hey, is this still available?" And I was like, "Yep." And he's like, "Well, I don't drive. Can you deliver it?" And I looked up where he was from, and I was like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I can't do it." And you know, his reply was kind of like, "Oh, well, not even for the right price." Well, 3-hour drive one way for me to get there and find out that you know, he doesn't want the truck, or he's changed his mind, or he's not where he says he's going to be, just that type of stuff. It's easier if you sell local. If you are thinking about getting into the RC hobby too, and you're really new, you really don't know much about them, you're best to save up and buy new. I'm not saying that everybody out there's out there to take advantage of you, but there are a lot of guys and gals that will do that. Whereas if you go down to your local hobby shop and they have stuff in stock, you can look at it, you can question stuff on it, and just avoid yourself a lot of hassle in the long run. Because right now, with things the way they are, and limited quantities on a lot of stuff, and a lot of people selling used stuff for top dollar, you can really be taken advantage of easily by going and not knowing what you're looking at, and getting it home and finding out, well, this doesn't work, or it's missing this part, or this is wore out, this is damaged, stuff like that. Whereas if you go even on a website and you order one new, at least you can contact the seller of it and say, you know, this arrived broken. Like a lot of hobby grade RCs come with a warranty. I know, like I had my Red Cat RS10 XT was shipped to me. I bought it through Red Cat Canada, and I had a servo go within like 10 minutes, and I contacted Red Cat, and they sent me a new servo. So, you know, it took maybe 15 days to get the servo, but it was covered under warranty. It didn't cost me anything out of my pocket. So that's kind of the way to go if you are new in the hobby. If you have friends that are into the hobby that really know a lot about them, then definitely involve them too. If you are buying used, you know, get them to come with you to look at the rig. Or if you really are excited to get one and you want to do a used online shipped deal, you know, get them involved as well. Get lots of pics from the seller, and don't be afraid to ask the seller a lot of questions. Like, I see a lot of stuff go on sale used, and they'll be like, oh, hardly used, it's got one run on it. And then and this is only stuff that a lot of guys in the RC for a long time might recognize, but they'll be like, oh, it's a Traxxas TRX4 crawler, had one pack run through it, got bored with it, now I'm selling it. And then you look and it's got like a Castle Creations ESC, a Castle Creations motor, and you got to kind of question, well, if it's brand new with one run, why did you put an aftermarket ESC and motor in it? Like stuff like that just doesn't necessarily make sense to me. So like maybe this is something they picked up as a roller or a slider and slapped a Castle Creation system they had in it just to get it up and going, and then advertise it as, oh yeah, brand new, one run on it. And then you have the truck shipped to you and find out that something doesn't work, the ESC's fried, the motor's fried, just stuff like that. The gears are gone and the diffs. It's really, today is really a buyer's beware market. There's just a lot of people out there that are just trying to make a quick buck, I guess, is kind of what I'm trying to get at. So anyway, I just thought I'd post this little video because I seen a lot of frustration, a lot of guys online just posting stuff where they've been ripped off, particularly if stuff's being shipped to them. I've seen some where it's just new guys that they're new to the hobby. They've even gone and met the person and looked at the rig and then brought it home and went out and bought a battery and slapped it in there, and it doesn't work, and then they're already frustrated. If you are buying used too, if they say it doesn't come with a battery, say, hey, do you have a battery you can just plug it in and show me everything works? When I sold my Gen 7, the original battery on it was no good, so I sold it without a battery. But when the buyer come to look at the truck, I had a battery that I plugged into it, and hey, here, steering works, drive it around, and everything's working smooth the way it should be. There's a lot of dishonest sellers out there right now, apparently taking advantage of the COVID situation with high prices and whatnot. So yeah, just if you are new to this hobby, just like I said, research. When I bought my first hobby grade RC, I went to a local hobby shop, and I was kind of set on a Traxxas Slash at the time because I wanted 4-wheel drive. And the hobby store owner, he said, well, if you're just starting out, maybe 2-wheel drive is a better way to go. You got less to worry about. You don't have a front diff to worry about, stuff like that when you're new. And he was selling Armas at the time, had them in stock, and he didn't put any pressure on me. He said, hey, go home and research Armas and see what you think of them. So I didn't buy that day. I went home and I went on YouTube and I researched the Arma trucks and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, they seem like good trucks, and that's kind of what got me started in the hobby. I bought a Arma Fury BLS, just a brushless 2-wheel drive short course truck. I did end up buying a Slash 4x4 down the road, but once I was experienced in the hobby and I sold the Arma, and I picked up the used Slash with no motor and stuff like that, and kind of went from there. Yeah, anyway, just a video here just to let you know that you really need to be careful when you're getting into this hobby, because hobby grade RCs aren't necessarily cheap. You can get some cheap China made ones that might work great for you. You might just have to wait for parts and stuff like that, like Banggood deals. You break something, you have to order the parts off Banggood, and then you're kind of waiting for parts because your local hobby shop doesn't generally stock parts for the cheaper China made ones. But even they can go $400+ themselves. So it's one of those things. Anybody new, I kind of urge, just go to your local hobby shop, deal with them, someone you can speak to in person where you can see the products there. And you can ask them questions like parts availability, because some hobby shops now are starting to sell the cheaper line of RCs. Um, I know a lot of my local hobby shops, like ECX or Red Cats, because they don't want to have people new to the hobby come in and have like $800 RC trucks on the shelf and have them go, well, that's way too expensive. Just lower price point vehicles in stock. But generally, local hobby shops can stock Red Cat parts, ECX parts, stuff like that. So yeah, just anything like that. Looking used online, you really need to be careful. If you know somebody into the hobby, definitely get them involved. Stuff like that. But researching RC vehicles is so easy. Just go on YouTube and just if you're interested in one, find out exactly what it is, and go into YouTube and look at the RTR, look at the kit versions. For comparison, because you don't know what you're buying, whether it was, they may say this was a kit or this was RTR, stuff like that, and get familiar what they originally came with as far as ESCs and motors and stuff like that. Because a lot of guys will say, well, it's upgraded, so I want $200 more than they are new because I put some upgrades into it. I mean, upgraded parts, when you're coming to like 1/10 scale stuff, there's not a whole lot of price difference upgrading. Even the slashes, if you snap their plastic drive shafts for the rear, and you want to upgrade to metal, that is a big upgrade. Really high quality metal drive shafts are generally like here anyway, anywhere from 100 to $150. But if they got like Energy stuff slapped in there, it's really not worth much more than the replacement stock plastic ones, even though they'll be aluminum or something. If you're running 3S power to that thing, you're probably still going to break them. It's one of those things you really need to research. You really need to know products. There's a lot of guys out there that buy Integy stuff, and Integy stuff is cheap, and it's cheap for a reason. It's cheap because it's probably not going to last much longer or take much more power than the stock plastic parts. So when you're looking at these ads and they've got on their upgrades, and you're looking at it and you're like, well, it's all Integy upgrades, it's not going to add $200 value to that used RC. I'll tell you that right now. When I sell my stuff used that I have put some upgrade parts into, if it's cheap upgrade parts, I'm not going to put that into the value of selling it, because I'm an honest seller. It's like, yeah, this part broke. I replaced it with a little bit better Energy part. I'm not going to say, well, it's got upgrades, so I want another $100 on top of what you could get by selling this used bone stock. It's not fair to the buyer, to me. And it'd be taking advantage to people who didn't know any better. So, there's a lot of honest sellers out there. There's a lot of dishonest sellers out there. It's kind of what I'm getting at. You need to be cautious. Do your research. Find out what it is. Type it into YouTube, and I guarantee there's going to be videos on it, no matter what it is. Whether it's ECX, Red Cat, big names like Traxxas, Axial. If you're looking at buying one, go on YouTube, type in what it is, and just watch videos and see what they're capable of, see what upgrades are, see what stock parts are, and go to your local hobby shop, or go online and see on different websites for local hobby shops or distributors what they're worth new RTR, or whether they're a kit, whatever, and just put that into play, because you may be surprised right now with the price of used stuff. You might be like, wow, for another $50 I could buy this thing RTR brand new. And even if this used seller has some upgrades, I mean, you can upgrade yourself once you get into the hobby and you learn how things work. Drive it bone stock, and if you break something, then upgrade, get rid of that weak link. And you're going to probably find in the long run it's going to be a lot less frustrating for you, if you are new and you're buying used, if you buy new, there's going to be a lot less frustration. I pretty much guarantee that. Just one of those things. Yeah, even if there's like $100 in price difference, me personally, I'd rather buy new. I bought used RCs over the year, and I've never been taken advantage of because I've always done my research and made sure I was getting a good deal, as opposed to, well, I saved $50, but 2 days later this is wore out, this broke, just that kind of stuff. I hope that you find this video helpful. Just Facebook groups, online sellers, Kijiji, whatever. If they're selling them used, just definitely buyer beware, because once you've sent them money, or once you've done a trade, whatever the case may be, there's not much you can do if you got took. If you get a really honest seller and he's like, well, I didn't know that was wrong with it, and they make it right with you, that's great. But most cases, from what I've seen, it's never made right. You're gonna take the brunt end of it and wind up losing money. And me personally, and a lot of other hobbyists out there, we don't like to see that. We hate seeing that, because it's more people that get into this hobby, the better this hobby's going to be. And we don't want to see people get frustrated and then tell their friend, oh man, don't get into that hobby because it's expensive, you get taken advantage of. Anyway, I'll stop rambling on now, and if you get some hobby, something in your hobby for Christmas, hope you enjoy it, and everybody have a good day.